Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. Today we're diving into a single, massive cyber attack that, believe it or not, peels back the curtain on a much bigger story. A new global Cold War that's being powered by artificial intelligence. We're going to explore how AI is not just at the heart of this conflict, but also, at the exact same time, driving an absolutely incredible market boom.
So, in this explainer, we're connecting the dots. We'll start with a huge cyber attack on a company called F5, link that to the growing tech race between the US and China, and show how the AI revolution is the engine behind it all, both the good and the bad. Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to start by looking at this deeply alarming hack of the cybersecurity provider F5. And I got to tell you, this isn't just another data breach. It's more like a foundational crack in the systems that are supposed to protect some of the world's most important companies and governments.
And look, that's not just hype. The US Cybersecurity Agency literally issued an emergency directive because the stakes are just incredibly high. So why all the panic? Well, it's all about who F5's clients are.
The sheer scale here is just staggering. I mean, think about it. 48 of the Fortune 500 companies rely on this tech, not to mention countless federal agencies. When a company with that kind of access gets compromised, the potential ripple effect is, well, it's almost unimaginable.
So how on earth did these hackers stay hidden for so long? Simple. They were incredibly patient. First, they used what are called 0 days. These are brand new vulnerabilities that nobody knows about yet, to get their first foot in the door. Then they took advantage of a really common weakness. Most systems only keep security logs for about a year, so their original tracks were basically erased. And finally, they hung out on devices that didn't have modern threat detection, letting them move around like a ghost, just watching and learning from the inside for over a year.
You know, this whole breach just highlights a massive systemic problem in cybersecurity. Most big companies are already drowning in these, quote, terrifying backlogs of security holes. We're talking millions of them sometimes. It's the perfect hunting ground for sophisticated attackers who, by the way, are now using AI to find and exploit these weaknesses with brutal, scary efficiency.
And this really gets to the new reality of cybersecurity. The game has totally changed. You can't fight these automated, AI-powered attacks with human teams anymore. It's just too slow. The only way to keep up is to fight fire with fire, using defensive AI to find and patch threats at what everyone's now calling superhuman speed.
So this brings us to the bigger picture. See, the F5 hack wasn't just some random event. It was a single battle in a much, much larger conflict, a new global tech Cold War, being fought mostly between the United States and China.
And on this new battlefield, economics are the weapons. The US is trying to restrict China's access to the most advanced AI chips and the gear you need to make them. So what does China do? It flexes its control over rare earth elements. These are the minerals that are critical for, well, pretty much everything. It's this tense, strategic game of chess over the fundamental building blocks of our entire modern economy.
The economic risks here are just immense, and it's not a secret. Even at the highest levels of government, there's an understanding that this can't go on forever. The threat of gigantic tariffs is always there, with officials admitting that a move like that just isn't sustainable and could cause some really severe economic damage. And yet, here's the crazy part. Despite all these huge, scary headlines, the market seems to be looking right past the political drama. It's almost like investors have gotten used to the constant threat of tariffs, and they're focusing on something else, something more powerful happening underneath the surface.
So what is that big, fundamental driver that's got everyone's attention? Well, it all comes back to one thing: artificial intelligence. Now, with the stock prices of anything AI-related just going through the roof, the big question on everyone's mind is pretty obvious. Are we just in another tech bubble? Is this all hype that's totally disconnected from reality? But when you actually look at the data, you see a really different story. The amazing returns we're seeing in tech right now aren't really being driven by just speculation. People hoping prices will go up. Nope, they're being driven by actual, real, tangible earnings growth. The demand for AI is real, the business fundamentals are solid, and that's what's supporting the prices we're seeing.
So what this really tells us is that in a super complex and uncertain market, investors are basically defaulting to what they know. And right now, what they know are the clear AI winners, the companies with proven tech and a unique value that are just soaking up this huge new wave of demand.
To really understand this tangible value, let's zoom in on one industry that's being totally remade by AI: financial technology, or fintech.
This is where you can see AI as this powerful engine for opportunity, not just as a weapon in some global conflict.
The size of the opportunity here is just mind-boggling. Financial services make up a quarter of the entire economy, with a market cap of around $17 trillion. It's a whole sector built on data, which makes it absolutely perfect for an AI revolution.
We're seeing this fundamental shift in what software can even do. For decades, software has just been a tool, right? Something a person uses to enter data or do a task. But now with AI, the software is becoming the worker itself. It's becoming capable of finishing entire workflows from start to finish all on its own. And here you can just see the massive gap that AI is about to fill. I mean, just take accounting. Right now, companies spend about $1.5 billion on accounting software, but they spend a whopping $140 billion on human accountants and bookkeepers. AI is poised to come in and just gobble up a huge slice of that pie by automating all that manual work.
And this quote right here is such a key insight to understanding why AI is being adopted so fast. The AI doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be better than the human alternative, which, let's be honest, is often inconsistent and makes mistakes. Think about financial compliance. Companies spend millions on human analysts and still get hit with billions in fines. AI offers a much more consistent, much more accurate way.
And that brings us full circle, right back to the central theme of this explainer. AI is the ultimate double-edged sword of our time. It is, at the very same moment, our greatest emerging threat and our greatest economic opportunity. We are officially in an AI arms race. On one side, you've got attackers using AI to pull off these incredibly sophisticated hacks and weaponize stolen data. And on the other side, you have defenders using the exact same technology to fix security holes at superhuman speed and automate their defenses. The same tool building fortunes in fintech is also waging a new kind of war in cyberspace. This leaves us with a final and pretty provocative question about the future we're all building together. As this technology gets exponentially more powerful, who's ultimately going to win this race? The innovators who build with AI or the attackers who use it to break things down? If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.